There are pains that never scream. They live in silence, hidden behind polite smiles, small distractions, and forced normality. Hemorrhoids are one of those pains. They exist quietly, behind closed doors, where embarrassment speaks louder than suffering. Millions of people live with this every single day, pretending, enduring, hoping it will go away on its own. They sit through meetings, dinners, family gatherings, all while their body begs for relief. And the hardest part isn't the pain itself, it's the silence. That feeling that you can't talk about it without shame. As a proctologist, I've seen this story repeat itself hundreds of times. People walk into my office slowly, cautiously, almost apologetically. They lower their voice and say, "Doctor, I've tried everything, but I'm too embarrassed to tell anyone." That moment, that whisper, is where healing begins. Because the truth is, hemorrhoids are not a punishment. They're not a curse. They're a signal. The body doesn't use words. It speaks through sensations, through tension, through inflammation. When blood no longer flows freely, when pressure builds inside, when tissues swell and ache, the body is simply asking for attention. It's saying, something in your rhythm, in your habits, in your way of living needs care. But we've been taught to tolerate pain in silence, to keep moving, to act like nothing's wrong. And that silence becomes the breeding ground for suffering. The first step is understanding. You are not alone and you are not broken. Your body isn't failing you. It's guiding you back to balance. In this video, I'll help you understand how small changes, especially through what you eat, can dramatically reduce pain, bleeding, and swelling. We'll explore the 8 foods that actually help your body heal, not through miracles, but through nature's intelligence. But before we get there, take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you can, and tell yourself quietly, I don't need to suffer in silence anymore. Because the moment you give yourself permission to heal, the process has already begun. If these words resonate with you, write in the comments, I listen to my body starting today. When blood stops flowing freely, the body begins to speak in a different language, the language of pain. It's not a sudden explosion. It's a slow, patient cry, one that builds over time until it can no longer be ignored. Inside you there's a river, a network of veins that carries oxygen, nutrients, and life itself. When that river flows naturally, you feel light, balanced, at peace. But when it encounters obstacles, poor circulation, pressure, inflammation, the current begins to change. The water slows down. It starts to pool, to swell, to push against the edges. And just like that, what once moved in harmony now struggles to find its path. That's what happens inside your body when hemorrhoids appear. The blood that should move freely becomes trapped. The pressure builds. The walls of the veins stretch and inflame. What began as a small blockage turns into discomfort, burning, heaviness, and sometimes bleeding. But it's not just the body that's congested. It's the mind, too. Stress, anxiety, tension. They all tighten the muscles around the pelvis. When you hold in your worries, you also hold your breath, your emotions, your circulation. And when everything tightens, nothing flows. I've seen this pattern over and over again. People who don't allow themselves to rest, to breathe, to slow down. People who live as if they're running from something, even from their own needs. And the body, in its wisdom, always finds a way to make you stop. Pain is not an enemy. It's a messenger. It's the body's way of saying, please, listen. Every throbbing pulse, every burning sensation is your body asking for cooperation, not resistance. When you understand this, something changes. You stop fighting against yourself. You begin to work with your body instead of against it. And that's where real healing begins. Because the blood wants to flow, the tissues want to repair, the inflammation wants to calm down. Your body isn't trying to hurt you, it's trying to communicate. So tonight, when you feel that discomfort again, take a deep breath. Imagine that river inside you and see it clearing little by little. See the flow returning, the pressure easing, the body exhaling. This is where change begins, not in fear, but in understanding. If this makes sense to you, write in the comments, I allow my body to flow again. And stay with me, because in the next part we'll uncover the invisible habits that silently feed this inflammation every single day, even when you think you're doing everything right. Pain rarely begins in a single moment. It builds quietly, layer upon layer, through habits so small we stop noticing them. And hemorrhoids are no different. They are not an accident. They are a message written by repetition. We live in a world that glorifies speed, fast meals, fast work, fast recovery. But the body doesn't understand speed. It understands rhythm. When we rush through life, we move out of sync with the rhythm that keeps us alive. One of the first invisible mistakes is haste, eating too fast, running to the bathroom as if it's another task to check off the list. Sitting down, forcing, pushing, rushing. Every time you do, you break the natural pace of your body. And the body remembers. Each strain adds pressure. Each effort creates tension, until one day the veins can't take it anymore. The second invisible mistake is stillness disguised as rest. We think sitting down means relaxing. But for the body, long periods of sitting are like closing a valve. Blood stops moving, pressure builds in the pelvis, and the veins stretch like tired rubber bands. The human body was never meant to be motionless. Every step, every stretch, every breath helps the blood return to its natural flow. The third invisible mistake is ignoring thirst. Dehydration is one of the quietest enemies of intestinal health. When you don't drink enough water, your body steals moisture from your stool. And what should be soft and easy becomes hard, dry, and painful. Each effort at the bathroom becomes another small trauma. And slowly, the inflammation deepens. Then comes the modern diet, rich in caffeine, sugar, refined flour, alcohol, and artificial spices. These are not just bad foods, they are irritants. They inflame the lining of your intestines and thicken your blood. They make your veins more fragile and your tissues more reactive. What you eat becomes what you feel. And behind all of this, the most powerful trigger of all, stress. When the mind is tense, the muscles follow. The pelvic floor tightens, the breath shortens, the blood flow weakens. The body goes into survival mode, preparing for danger that never comes. That invisible pressure builds every day, not in your schedule, but in your cells. You may think you're calm, but your body remembers every emotion you refused to feel. Every time you said, "I'm fine," when you weren't. Every time you held in the anger, the fear, the exhaustion. The body doesn't forget. It simply stores it, until it finds a place to speak. That's why hemorrhoids are not just a physical issue. They are a reflection of a deeper tension, a signal that something in your life has been held too tightly for too long. But this is not a sentence. It's an invitation to slow down, to breathe, to move, to hydrate, to choose peace instead of pressure. Healing doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins the moment you decide to be present. So tonight, before you go to bed, take one slow breath, drink one glass of water, and tell yourself quietly, "I choose calm to heal." Because healing isn't a miracle, it's a rhythm. And the moment you begin to follow it, the body begins to trust you again. Stay with me, because in the next part we'll talk about how food can become your most powerful medicine, and how 8 simple ingredients can reduce pain, calm inflammation, and restore balance from the inside out. Food was the first medicine humanity ever knew, and somehow the first one we forgot. We learned to count calories, to chase flavor, to eat for speed, but not for healing. Yet every bite you take sends a signal, not just to your stomach, but to your blood, your brain, your entire being. When you suffer from hemorrhoids, food becomes either your greatest ally or your quietest enemy, because what you eat decides how your blood flows, how your tissues repair, and how your inflammation responds. Let's start with the most powerful and underestimated remedy of all, water. Simple, silent, essential. It keeps your blood light, your veins flexible, and your intestines moving with ease. Dehydration thickens the blood, hardens the stool, and turns every visit to the bathroom into a battle. But with water, everything changes. It cleans, softens, renews. Drink it slowly, consciously, as if reminding your body that peace is possible. Then come fibers, the architects of balance. They're found in fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. They bring rhythm to digestion, soften stool, and reduce the internal pressure that causes swelling and bleeding. Every piece of fruit, every green leaf, every spoon of oats is like a gentle massage for your intestines. It's the simplest way to let your body breathe again, but healing goes beyond movement. It's also about strengthening. The small, colorful heroes of circulation are the red and purple fruits: blueberries, grapes, pomegranate, blackberries. They're loaded with flavonoids, powerful natural antioxidants that protect your veins from breaking and your tissues from inflammation. They don't just heal, they teach your blood how to flow again. And then there's something ancient, sacred even: extra virgin olive oil, golden, pure, anti-inflammatory. It soothes the inner linings of your body, reduces irritation, and brings softness where pain once ruled. 1 spoonful a day, raw, is enough to bring back the natural glide that your intestines crave. Next are the healers disguised as spices: garlic, red onion, and ginger. Garlic thins the blood and reduces internal pressure. Onion helps your liver cleanse the toxins that weigh your circulation down. And ginger, warm, bold, and alive, reawakens the flow, reigniting warmth where the body has become slow. Together, they work like an orchestra, subtle, natural, deeply intelligent. And this is the secret. You don't need harsh diets or strict rules. You need awareness. You need kindness toward your own biology. When you choose foods that give life, your body thanks you in silence, through lighter mornings, softer digestion, calmer nights. I've seen people heal not through medicine, but through mindfulness, because healing isn't only about what you eat, but how you eat it. Every time you eat in peace, your body receives it as care, not as chaos. So tonight, when you prepare your next meal, take a breath before your first bite. Remember, this is not punishment. This is homecoming. Every bite can be a bridge back to balance. If this resonates with you, write in the comments, "I nourish my healing," and stay with me, because in the next part you'll discover what happens when your body finally begins to regenerate from within. You'll see how the pain fades, the bleeding stops, and your strength returns, not by force, but by harmony. The human body is a masterpiece of renewal. Even when it's hurt, tired, or inflamed, it never truly gives up. Beneath every symptom, every ounce of pain, there's a hidden force working in silence, rebuilding, rebalancing, restoring. It's called regeneration. Most people think healing is something that happens to them, something passive. But the truth is, healing is something your body does every single day. Even right now, as you listen, millions of your cells are repairing what yesterday damaged. You are not static. You are a living movement of recovery. When you finally start giving your body what it's been asking for, water, rest, fiber, calm, it begins to respond in ways that feel almost miraculous. The swelling goes down, the bleeding slows, the burning subsides, the pressure eases. And for the first time in weeks, months, maybe years, you can sit without pain, sleep without fear, and breathe without tension. That moment, when you feel the body exhale, is the first sign of trust returning. Because healing isn't just biological, it's emotional. The body doesn't fully repair until it feels safe again. And when you start treating it with patience instead of punishment, nourishment instead of neglect, it opens up to you. The circulation improves. The intestines find their rhythm. The blood moves lightly again. You start to feel alive, not just pain-free, but awake. I've seen this transformation in so many people. Men and women who thought their condition was permanent, who lived in silence and shame, slowly rediscovering comfort and confidence. Not through magic, through consistency, through respect, through the decision to stop fighting their own body and start walking beside it. Regeneration doesn't shout, it whispers. It happens quietly, in the calm after stress, in the meal prepared with care, in the night of true rest. Every moment of stillness, every breath taken without rush becomes part of the cure. And as the inflammation fades, something deeper begins to shift. You stop seeing your body as broken. You start seeing it as wise. A teacher, not a burden. A living reminder that you can always begin again. If you've reached this point, it means your journey has already started. Your body has heard you. Your cells are listening. and the process of renewal is already in motion. Take one deep breath and say to yourself, I heal a little more every day. Because the truth is, you do. Stay with me, because in the next and final part, we'll go deeper into the most powerful form of healing of all, emotional healing. You'll understand why no physical cure is complete until the heart is at peace, and at the end I'll share something important, a message for everyone who's ever suffered in silence. Every physical healing eventually leads to the same place, the heart. Because no body can truly regenerate while the heart remains wounded. You can eat well, drink water, move more, and rest deeply. But if inside you there's still guilt, shame, or unspoken pain, the body stays on guard. It keeps fighting, even when the battle is long over. And a body that keeps defending itself cannot fully heal. Hemorrhoids, like many chronic conditions, often carry an invisible weight, the weight of silence, the weight of pretending everything is fine, of hiding discomfort, of feeling embarrassed about something that deserves compassion, not judgment. I've seen it so many times, people living in quiet suffering, ashamed of their pain. And behind that shame I always find the same emotion, fear. Fear of being seen, fear of admitting weakness, fear of needing care. But healing begins the moment you forgive yourself for being human, for having limits, for needing time. Because your body is not your enemy, it's your messenger. It doesn't want to embarrass you, it wants to be heard. The area of the body where this condition appears is not random. It's one of the most private, most protected places, connected to safety, grounding, trust. When it inflames, it's as if your body is whispering, here is where you stopped feeling safe. So healing means rebuilding that trust between you and yourself. Every act of kindness toward your body is a step toward peace. Every gentle breath, every glass of water, every calm meal is a way of saying, I'm listening now. Because true healing doesn't happen when the symptoms disappear. It happens when the fear does. I've witnessed people transform simply by choosing softness, not for others but for themselves, by deciding to stop fighting and start forgiving. And the moment forgiveness enters, the body relaxes, the inflammation fades, the pain loses meaning. What remains is clarity, peace, and presence. Maybe that's what your body has been waiting for all along. Your presence. Not another treatment, not another rush to fix, but the quiet decision to stay with yourself, to trust again. So tonight, before you close your eyes, place your hand on your abdomen and whisper softly, it's safe now. I can let go. And breathe. Because that breath is the beginning of freedom. If these words resonated with you, write in the comments, I choose peace within myself. Let this be your quiet promise to your body, that from now on, you'll listen, not fight. And remember, healing is not an event, it's a journey. A journey that begins the moment you say yes to yourself. Thank you for watching. And if you found comfort or hope in this message, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos that can help you continue your healing path. Because every new insight, every reminder, every calm voice brings you one step closer to peace.